You can have the perfect strategy, the cleanest charts, the tightest risk management, and still lose everything because the real battle in trading isn't against the market. It's against the stranger sitting in your chair. This video won't give you a new indicator. It won't promise you financial freedom in 90 days. It's going to show you something far more valuable and far more terrifying. The invisible forces that have been controlling your mouse this entire time. The trauma you're trading with. The identity you're protecting. The pain you keep recreating. If you've ever watched yourself break your own rules in real time. If you've ever felt like someone else takes over when the pressure hits. If you've ever wondered why you keep sabotaging the very thing you claim you want most, this isn't just a video, it's an intervention. Welcome to the war you didn't know you were fighting. Let's begin. I want to tell you about the day I stopped lying to myself. It was 11:47 p.m., 4 monitors glowing in the dark, my family asleep upstairs, completely unaware that I was about to do something unforgivable. $847,000. That's what was in the account. Not fake money, not paper trading, real capital, years of grinding, saving, sacrificing, my daughter's education fund, the house down payment, everything we built, and I was about to risk it all on a single trade. But here's what makes this story different from every other blown account story you've heard. I knew exactly what I was doing. This wasn't FOMO. This wasn't a revenge trade. This wasn't emotional. Or at least that's what I told myself. The setup looked perfect. Classic breakout, volume confirming. Every indicator aligned. My system said yes. My journal said yes. My rules said yes. So I clicked. Position size, 80% of the account. And for exactly 14 minutes, I was a genius. Up $67,000, the fastest money I'd ever made. My hand hovered over the close button. Take it, lock it in, walk away. But something inside me whispered, this is it. This is the trade that changes everything. Double down. So I did. By 12:03, the position reversed. By 12:11, I was down $120,000. By 12:19, the margin call came. By 12:27, it was over. $847,000 became $0, and then I kept going. I owed my broker $43,000. I sat there in the dark, completely still. No crying, no screaming, just silence. And in that silence, one thought, I knew this would happen. Not predicted it, knew it. Deep in my bones, I had known the moment I clicked that button that this was how it would end. Because I didn't place that trade to win. I placed it to finally lose big enough that the pain would stop. That's when I understood. I had been trying to blow up for months, maybe years. Every oversized position, every ignored stop loss, every time I broke my rules and told myself it was conviction. I wasn't trying to win. I was trying to punish myself, and I had finally succeeded. The market didn't take my money. I gave it away carefully, methodically, unconsciously. And if you're honest with yourself, you know exactly what I'm talking about because you've done it too. Maybe not this dramatically, maybe not all at once, but slowly, trade by trade, you've been destroying yourself while calling it learning. That night changed everything for me. Not because I lost the money, but because I finally saw the truth. The person I thought I was and the person actually trading my account were two completely different people. And the scariest part, I had no idea which one was real. Let me ask you something. When you open your trading platform in the morning, who shows up? Because I promise you it's not always the same person. Monday morning, you're Warren Buffett, calm, rational, following your plan to the letter. Tuesday afternoon, after 2 small losses, you're a desperate gambler, chasing, forcing, needing to feel something. Wednesday evening, you're a wounded child, looking for validation, trying to prove you're smart enough, good enough, worthy enough. Thursday, you're a tyrant. Angry at the market for not obeying you, punishing yourself with oversized revenge trades. Friday, you're exhausted, going through the motions, just trying to survive until the weekend. 5 different traders, 1 account, and you wonder why you're inconsistent. Here's the truth. Most trading educators will never tell you. You don't have a strategy problem. You have an identity problem. Because deep down, you're not even sure who you are. You've spent your entire life performing. Playing roles, being what others expected, the good student, the hard worker, the responsible one, the provider, But who are you when no one's watching? When there's no boss to impress, no spouse to reassure, no audience to perform for? That's who trades your account. And if you don't know that person, if you've been running from that person your whole life, the market will introduce you violently. I spent 6 months in therapy after I blew up. Not trading therapy, real therapy. Because I realized my trading problems had nothing to do with charts. They had everything to do with my childhood. Let me tell you what I discovered. When I was 8 years old, my father lost his job. I remember the night he told us. The way my mother's face went white. The way the air in the room changed. The way money, which I'd never thought about before, suddenly became this heavy, dangerous thing that could destroy families. For the next 2 years, I watched my parents fight about bills, about groceries, about whether we could afford new shoes. And I absorbed one lesson deeper than any other. Money means survival, and not having it means terror. So what do you think happened when I started making real money trading? When my account hit 6 figures for the first time? Did I feel joy, relief, pride? No, I felt panic. Because somewhere deep in my 8-year-old brain, money meant danger. It meant something bad was coming. It meant I was about to lose it all, just like my father did. So unconsciously, without even realizing it, I found ways to lose it, to return to what felt familiar, to prove that the story I'd been telling myself my whole life was true. You can't have good things. Security is an illusion. Suffering is your natural state. This is what nobody tells you about trading psychology. It's not about controlling your emotions. It's about understanding where your emotions come from. Every time you break your stop loss, you're not being undisciplined. You're reenacting something from your past. Every time you overtrade, you're not being greedy. You're trying to fill a void that has nothing to do with money. Every time you sabotage a winning trade, you're not being stupid. You're staying loyal to an old belief that says you don't deserve good things. Your trading issues aren't trading issues. They're unhealed wounds wearing a trading disguise. And until you face that, until you go back and meet the child who first learned to fear success, you will keep repeating the same patterns. Different markets, different strategies, same destruction. The traders who make it aren't the smartest. They're not the most disciplined. They're the most self-aware. They've done the work, the real work, not backtesting, not optimization, the work of looking in the mirror and asking, who hurt me? What am I still carrying? What am I trying to prove? Because once you answer those questions, trading becomes simple. Not easy, but simple. You're not fighting the market anymore. You're not fighting yourself. You're just executing, consciously, deliberately, free. Here's something that will change how you see every trade you take. You are not one person making decisions. You are 3 completely different operating systems fighting for control. And when the pressure hits, the worst one always wins. Let me introduce you to your 3 traders. Trader 1, the survivor. This is your oldest brain, your reptilian brain. It's been keeping humans alive for 500 million years, and it's very, very good at one thing, not dying. It doesn't understand charts. It doesn't care about risk-reward ratios. It only knows one thing. When that red candle drops fast, you're in danger. Within milliseconds, before you even register what's happening, your amygdala fires. Adrenaline floods your system. Your vision literally narrows. Blood drains from your prefrontal cortex, the part that thinks rationally, and redirects to your muscles for fight or flight. You're not trading anymore. You're a cornered animal. This is why you panic sell bottoms, why you freeze during perfect entries, why you can't think straight when you're down. It's not weakness, it's biology. Your body genuinely believes you're about to die. Trader 2, the child. This is your emotional brain, your limbic system. It's about 150 million years old, and it's all about feelings, memories, and social survival. This brain doesn't want you to make money. It wants you to feel okay. It wants you to avoid shame. It wants you to prove you're worthy. This is the brain that makes you chase trades after seeing someone else's gains on Twitter. The one that sizes up to impress people who aren't even watching. The one that needs the win so desperately that it forces entries that don't exist. Every loss feels personal to this brain. Every win feels like proof you're finally good enough. This is why you can't celebrate wins. They feel too good to be true. And why you can't process losses. They feel like character judgments. Trader 3, the strategist. This is your newest brain, your neocortex, only 200,000 years old. This is the brain that writes your trading plan, journals, analyzes, makes rules. This is the brain you think is trading. But here's the devastating truth. When the pressure comes, this brain goes offline. Completely, it shuts down, and the reptile takes over. Imagine that. The part of you designed to make good decisions literally disappears the moment you need it most. This is why discipline fails, why plans fall apart, why you can't stick to your rules. You're not trading with your whole brain. You're trading with the most primitive, terrified, emotionally dysregulated parts of yourself, and you're expecting them to trade like a robot. It doesn't work. It will never work. So what do? You can't outsmart 500 million years of evolution. You can't positive think your way past your nervous system. You need to train it, condition it, build new pathways. This is why I started every trading day with 1 hour of deliberate discomfort. Not for discipline, for desensitization, cold showers. Not for 30 seconds, for 5 minutes. Sitting in the ice until my reptile brain learns that discomfort doesn't equal death. Breath work, box breathing, Wim Hof, teaching my body that it can stay calm even when my nervous system is screaming. Meditation, not peaceful, blissful meditation, uncomfortable meditation, sitting with the urge to move, to check my phone, to do something, learning to be with discomfort without reacting. Because here's what changed everything. The trades that blow you up don't happen on calm Tuesday mornings. They happen in chaos. When you're tired, stressed, triggered, when your reptile brain is in control. If you only practice trading from a calm state, you're not prepared for reality. You need to build capacity, nervous system resilience, the ability to stay human when your biology wants you to be a lizard. Most traders think they need better entries. What they actually need is a stronger nervous system. Because the market doesn't care about your strategy. It cares about who shows up when that strategy is tested. And if the person who shows up is a panicked animal, you will lose every time. But if you've trained yourself, if you've sat in the cold, if you've practiced staying calm in manufactured chaos, then when real chaos comes, you'll recognize it. You'll breathe. You'll pause. You'll execute. Not as a reptile, as a conscious trader. That's the difference between professionals and everyone else. They've mastered the only edge that matters, their own biology. Let me tell you about the most dangerous moment in trading. It's not when you're losing, it's when you're winning. Because losing keeps you humble. Losing makes you careful. Losing reminds you to respect the market. But winning is poison disguised as validation. I want to tell you about James, brilliant trader, former engineer, spent 18 months perfecting his system, back-tested everything, paper traded until he was bored, then went live with $50,000. First month, up 12%. Second month, up 18%. Third month, up 23%. 9 months later, he'd turned $50,000 into $340,000. He called me, voice shaking. I finally figured it out. I'm actually doing this. I should have warned him, but I didn't, because part of me wanted to believe his success was sustainable too. 4 months later, another call, this time crying. It's gone, all of it. I owe my broker money. Same system, same market, different human. What happened? Success happened. Because here's what winning does to you. It convinces you that you're special, that you've unlocked something others haven't, that the rules that apply to everyone else don't apply to you anymore. Success whispers, you've earned the right to trust your gut now. You've proven yourself. You don't need to follow the plan anymore. And slowly, without even noticing, you start to change. You increase your position size, not because your system says to, but because you can, because you've earned it. You skip analysis. Why waste time? You already know what's going to happen. You move your stops. The market just needs a little more room. You can feel it. You break your rules. Those were training wheels. You're past that now. And the market, patient as ever, lets you. It lets you win just long enough to believe you're untouchable. Then it destroys you. Not because you're a bad trader, because you forgot what made you a good one. Humility, process, respect. The moment you believe you've mastered the market is the moment you've already lost. I learned this the hard way. After my first big year, I made $680,000. I felt invincible. I started taking interviews, building a brand, telling my story. And inside, quietly, I stopped doing the things that made me successful. I stopped journaling. I stopped reviewing my trades. I stopped following my rules with precision because I didn't need to anymore. I was a proven trader now. The market had validated me. The next year, I lost $1.1 million. Same system, same discipline, completely different mindset. Because success is more psychologically dangerous than failure. Failure humbles you. Success seduces you. So now, after every winning month, I do something that sounds crazy. I practice losing. I open a demo account and deliberately take 10 terrible trades. I break every rule. I overtrade, I chase, I revenge trade. Not to test strategies, to remember what it feels like, to reconnect with the pain before it finds me in my real account. To remind my ego, you are not the market. You are not chosen. You are just someone executing a system. And the second you forget that, you give the market permission to humble you. Here's what I want you to do after your next winning week. Write down 10 ways you could lose everything next week. Not to be negative, to stay awake, to stay honest. Write things like, overconfidence leads to position sizing creep. Success makes me skip my pre-trade checklist. Winning feels too good. I'll start chasing that feeling instead of following process. I'll start believing I can predict instead of react. Name the traps before you fall into them. Because the only thing more dangerous than a trader in a losing streak is a trader who just had their best month ever. Success isn't your reward, it's your next test. And if you're not ready to meet it with the same humility you met failure, you will lose it. Maybe not today, maybe not this month, but eventually and completely. The market doesn't punish ambition, it punishes arrogance. So win, celebrate, then immediately return to beginner's mind. Because your system didn't make you rich, your humility did, and it's the only thing that will keep you that way. Let me tell you how I knew I had a problem. 3:23 a.m. I wasn't in a trade. I had no alert set, but I woke up anyway. Grabbed my phone, just checking. NASDAQ had moved 40 points. I wasn't even trading indices that week, but my heart was pounding anyway. Not from fear, from possibility, from maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's a setup forming. Maybe this is the move. By 4 o'clock, I was on my laptop. By 5:30, I'd convinced myself to take a trade I had no business taking. By 7 o'clock, I was down $8,000. But here's the sick part. I didn't even care that much about the loss. What I cared about was that I got to trade. I got my fix, because that's what it was. Not passion, not dedication, not being serious about my craft. Addiction. Trading triggers the exact same neural pathways as gambling, drugs, and social media. Every time you place a trade, your brain releases dopamine. Not from winning, from the possibility of winning. That's the hook. Uncertainty is the most powerful dopamine trigger that exists. And what's more uncertain than trading? You know what addicts me more than profits? The waiting, the anticipation, the electric feeling between clicking buy and seeing what happens. That rush is more powerful than cocaine to your brain because it's variable. You never know when it's coming. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But always, there's the maybe. And your brain, designed over millions of years to seek rewards, cannot resist maybe. Let me show you how deep this goes. Do you check charts when the market is closed? That's not dedication. That's withdrawal. Do you feel restless, bored, or anxious on weekends? That's not passion. That's dependency. Do you open trades just to have something active even when there's no setup? That's not opportunity. That's using. Do you feel more alive watching red and green candles than talking to your family? That's not success. That's substitution. I couldn't watch a movie without checking my phone. Couldn't have a conversation without my mind drifting to positions. Couldn't sleep without reviewing charts in my head. I told myself I was building something. I was building a cage. And the worst part, the market became the only thing that made me feel real. Everything else, family, friends, life, felt like interruptions. Not because I loved trading, because I was using it to escape myself. So what do? You detox, deliberately, systematically. Week 1, device boundaries. No phone in bedroom, alarm clock across the room. First urge to check markets equals 25 push-ups. Make the impulse expensive. Week 2, trading hours only. Charts open only during market hours. After hours equals gym, walk, people. Weekends equals markets don't exist. Rebuild your life outside the screen. Week 3, limited exposure. Check trades maximum 3 times per day. Set alerts, trust them. Treat charts like medicine. Prescribe doses only. Less is more. Week 4, earn your trading. Morning workout equals permission to trade. No workout equals no charts. Not punishment, recalibration. Anchor trading to something grounding. This isn't about willpower. It's about rewiring your nervous system. Because you can't trade from clarity when your brain is hijacked by constant stimulation. You can't follow your system when your biology is addicted to possibility. You need space. Space from the noise. Space from the urge. Space from the false urgency that dopamine creates. And when you create that space, something remarkable happens. You start seeing the market clearly. Not as a savior, not as entertainment, not as validation, just as a place where patterns meet behavior, where process meets execution, where preparation meets opportunity. The market isn't your life. It's a tool. And like any tool, it serves you best when you're not dependent on it. So let me ask you, can you go 48 hours without checking a chart? If not, you're not a trader. You're a user. And the market isn't your business partner. It's your dealer. I'm going to tell you something that sounds impossible at first. The market doesn't exist. Stay with me. What you call the market, the charts, the price action, the candles, it's just light on a screen, numbers moving, data flowing, completely neutral, completely empty until you look at it. And the moment you do, it becomes a mirror. I've tested this hundreds of times. Same chart, same time frame, same moment, 10 different traders in 10 different rooms. I ask one question, what do you see? Trader 1, bull trap, it's going to dump. Trader 2, breakout setup, it's going to fly. Trader 3, consolidation, I'm waiting. Trader 4, manipulation, market makers hunting stops. Same chart, 4 different realities. Why? Because none of them are seeing the market. They're seeing their own psychology projected onto the screen. Fear sees danger. Greed sees opportunity. Anger sees manipulation. Desperation sees salvation. The chart is just light and math, but you bring everything with you. Your mood, your beliefs, your wounds, your story, and what you see is filtered through all of it. This is why 2 traders can look at the same setup and one goes long while the other shorts, and both think they're right. To each of them, they are. Let me prove it to you. There was a period in my life when I couldn't see setups anymore. Patterns I'd traded for years just vanished, not from the market, from my perception. Why? Because my wife was sick, my family was scared, I was terrified, and when your internal world is chaos, you only see chaos externally. The market hadn't changed. I had, and my perception changed with me. This is backed by neuroscience. Your reticular activating system filters millions of bits of information every second. And what does it let through? Whatever matches your current emotional state. If you're calm, grounded, present, you see clean setups, clear risk, structured opportunity. If you're anxious, tired, triggered, you see false signals, noise, traps, confusion. Same chart, different state, different universe. That's why trading isn't about pattern recognition. It's about state recognition. Before you even open the charts, you've already determined what you'll see and how you'll react. Try this tomorrow morning. Before you trade, sit down, close your eyes. Ask yourself, what do I feel right now? What am I expecting from the market today? What am I afraid might happen? What am I hoping will happen? Write it down. Then look at the charts. Notice what jumps out at you. At the end of the day, come back to that journal. Compare what you felt versus what you traded, what you feared versus what happened, what you expected versus what you saw. Do this for 10 days. The correlation will terrify you. When you're in fear, every small move looks like a crash. Every pullback feels personal. Every loss feels like proof you're not enough. When you're in greed, you see opportunities everywhere. You force entries. You size up when you should walk away. But when you're calm, the chart speaks clearly. The noise fades. The market feels like rhythm instead of chaos. I call this the market mirror theory. The market is not objective. It's your consciousness made visible. And when you understand that, you stop blaming external factors. You stop saying, the market is rigged. My system is broken. This week was manipulated, because none of that is true. What's true is your internal state was off, and that created the chaos you experienced. You cannot see opportunity from fear. You cannot see danger from arrogance. You cannot see truth when you're attached to an outcome. The market doesn't lie, but your state does constantly. So what's the solution? Don't just journal your trades. Journal your state. Make that the first data point you track every single day. The state journal. How did I sleep? What's my energy level? 1 to 10. What's my emotional baseline right now? Am I carrying anything from yesterday? Do I have any non-trading stress today? Am I in the right state to execute with clarity? If the answer to that last question is no, don't trade. Not because your system says no, because your state says no. That decision alone could save your month, your year, your career. The most dangerous trader isn't the one without a strategy. It's the one who doesn't know who they are when they click that mouse. Because that trader is flying blind, not through the market, through themselves. So tomorrow, before you place a trade, ask yourself, am I seeing the market or am I just seeing my own fear? Because until you know the difference, you're not a trader. You're a mirror calling it analysis. If you've made it this far, you already know this isn't really about trading. It never was. Trading is just the arena, the mirror, the battlefield, where you finally have to face everything you've been avoiding your whole life. Who you really are, what you actually believe, how you respond when no one's watching. This isn't about beating the market. It's about meeting yourself. And here's what most traders never realize. There are 2 games you can play. The finite game, win, prove, achieve, compare, chase milestones, attach your identity to outcomes, burn out. The infinite game, evolve, learn, grow, become measured depth instead of dollars, play to keep playing. Most traders play the finite game. They're one losing streak away from collapse because their worth is tied to their P and L. But the infinite game, that's different. In the infinite game, every trade is feedback. Every emotion is data. Every trigger is a teacher. You stop asking, how can I win more? And start asking, what is this moment teaching me? Who am I becoming through this process? Am I still aligned or am I chasing again? You trade less but feel more. You size down but think bigger. You lose the thrill and gain the peace. And one day, without realizing it, you wake up and notice you're not obsessed anymore. You're present, calm, detached, not because you don't care, because you finally understand. The outcome was never the reward. You are. That's the shift. You stop trading to fix your life. You start trading as a practice, a way to meet yourself, to sharpen your awareness, to return to stillness over and over. And from that stillness, clarity, confidence, consistency, you won't need to prove anything anymore. Not to social media, not to your friends, not even to yourself, because you'll know, I'm not playing to win once, I'm playing to grow forever. So if you've been asking, when will I make it? Maybe the real question is, what version of myself do I need to become so that success is inevitable? That answer isn't in the charts. It's not in the indicators. It's not in some guru's course. It's in the mirror. And you've been looking at it this entire time. The war you thought you were fighting was against the market. The war you're actually fighting is within yourself. And the moment you stop fighting and start understanding, that's when everything changes. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this reached something deeper than your trading account, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Not for the algorithm, for the human on the other side who's sitting alone at 2 a.m. wondering if they're broken. They're not broken. They're just finally ready to heal. The infinite game awaits.